Hello, my name is Marko Keba, and I'm joined today by Bent Myllerup, if I got your name right.
Absolutely.
And maybe to start it off, just one or two sentences on your professional background.
Yes, my professional background is that I've been working with IT development since '92 when I graduated as an electronic engineer. I've been working 10 years as a developer up through the 90s, and I've been working 5 years as a traditional product manager, and since 2006 I've been working with Scrum with in different roles. First Scrum Master, then Product Owner. Besides that, I am a certified Scrum Coach. I became a certified Scrum Coach in 2008, and since 2012 I have also been a certified Scrum Trainer. So I work for Agile 42 as an Agile coach based in Denmark, but working in most of Europe and Middle East as a coach and trainer.
Okay, so you know both worlds, the traditional words, you have certifications in both worlds.
Yes, I am a certified project manager. It's called Product Management Professional. I have that certification as well.
Okay, so I want to talk about how to be a good Scrum Master. And I've seen you were comparing a Scrum team with a Formula One race team. So what are the analogies?
Yes, we talk from my education as a professional coach. I'm certified as a professional coach as well, a systemic coach. We talk about that Formula One Scrum teams or high performance teams are the Formula One of organization.
Okay.
It's the Formula One of how you organize, because they are running fast, but they also require a lot of maintenance. So looking at teams, well, the difference between teams and just a couple of people working together is that in teams there are synergy, meaning that the whole is bigger than the sum of the individual parts. And that is actually what happens in a Formula One team when they are trying to when they're servicing Formula One cars, get them into the pit stop, and in 30 seconds they can change the tires and change the driver and fuel it up and so on. So that's the resemblance of that.
Okay, so what would you say are the main qualities of a good Scrum Master?
The main qualities of a good Scrum Master, in my perspective, is first of all that the person understands people. A good Scrum Master is not necessarily one who knows about technical stuff, but it's someone who understands how to listen to people, asking the right questions, state observation that help the team to actually find their solution. So a good Scrum Master is someone who is proud of being successful through other people and understand that I'm not in the spotlight.
So the wins are the wins of the team?
The wins are the wins of the team, exactly.
Okay, so where actually would you say that the mentoring in the skills or in the process of Scrum and the coaching begins?
Yeah, well, it is connected to how mature the team is. If a team is newly formed and therefore immature, then the Scrum Master will most likely mentor more than he will coach. When a team is newly formed and immature, they need to have more answers than questions. So they need to know, why are we here? What are we going to do? How we're going to do it? Who are we referring to? And so on. But as a team becomes more and more mature and becomes into a high performance team, then the switch can go to coaching. Then the Scrum Master or the coach, for that sake, can ask more open-ended questions. Helping, stating observations, asking open-ended questions, and help the team see that it's the team responsibility help the team to figure out what is the best possible way to actually fix the problems that we're in. What are the best solutions for us? So it depends on where either the maturity of the team. It also depends on if the team is breaking some rules. That's the balance we always have as Agile coaches, and Scrum Masters has that as well, that we in some sort are also subject matter experts on Agile. And where a professional coach will accept any solution from the coachee, an Agile coach has a framework from which he or she is coaching. And therefore, we balance between mentoring and coaching. Sometimes we mentor because this is what the framework says. And there is a reason why. It's not just because it's written in the framework. There is a reason why we're doing this.
And it's the Scrum Master that is explaining the reason to the
the Scrum Master or the coach, depending on how you organize this.
Mm-hmm. But he is the one that knows why a ceremony happens and why people are...
We hold the Scrum Master accountable for that everyone involved in the project knows how Scrum works,
mm-hmm.
that the product owner knows his or her role, that the team knows their role as well. We hold the Scrum Master accountable for that, so yes.
Okay. You were actually talking a lot about listening as a very special ability, and one would say that it's so easy to listen. Mm. And you were actually saying that there are 3 levels of listening. So what are those?
The 3 levels are, they are actually level 1, 2, and 3. So level 1 is where you listen to what's said, but you instantly reflect it to yourself, and you see what you view what you hear from your own perspective. If you are a level 1 listener who is also one who's usually speaking a lot, you usually end up having a conversation on your premises instead of on the one you're coaching. So level 1 is where you have the idea it's all about me, me, me. Right? Level 2 listening is where you're focusing on the one next to you, the one in front of you, and coaching, you're actually trying to position yourself in the chair of the one you are coaching.
Mm-hmm. Looking at the world from his eyes, so to say.
The world from his eyes, trying to understand the perspective of his or her eyes, yes, definitely. So very focused listening. You're more like this, you're more in front. And then finally level 3 is where you also, besides listening focus to the person, is also almost feeling, your empathy is coming out, so you're almost feeling the same as the person, and you are reflecting back to the person what you feel in the way that you are expressing that you understand this certainty.
Okay.
So you're not able to always be on level 2 and level 3. You will fall back to level 1 once in a while. So the thing is not to prevent yourself to fall back to level 1, because you will, but it's about finding survival techniques to get back to level 2 or level 3 while you're listening.
And detect that you are falling back to level 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what would you say, how does one learn to be a Scrum Master? What is the school of a good Scrum Master?
What is the school of good Scrum Master? First of all, a lot of practice. Of course, it's a good idea to have a course and learn all the basics and hear from the experience of the trainers and the other people who are attending the course. But it comes on the day-to-day business that you try out yourself and you ask for feedback when you help the team. It can also be a very good idea to have a mentor, if you have an Agile coach connected to your company, and the Agile coach can point to what you don't see and give some observations, share them with you as well. But it comes with the practice. The important thing is that you listen to people, that you state the observations, and that you help the team and the people that you're working for to understand what their part in the success is. That you don't become the curling Scrum Master, the one who's always weeping the ice before the team, but you actually also have some edge that you are, if the team is not taking responsibility, that you're actually creating a void that is so annoying for the team that they have to jump in and actually take their responsibility.
Okay.
So with a lot of practice and with a lot of feedback and also some mentoring, I think that's important, besides learning the basics in a course. Yeah.
And maybe apart from the basics of the process itself, of the ceremonies and all, what would you say that the learning topics or interests of a Scrum Master might be, something that he could be developing his skills in?
Well, as we just did here today at the Agile Croatia, we had a session on coaching. I think there is a lot to learn still from professional coaching for Scrum Masters and Agile coaches as well. Understanding that asking questions in a good manner, you could say in an intelligent manner, is actually quite useful. So I think that is the primary thing, to learn such skills.
Okay. And how would you say that a Scrum Master is spending his day in office or spending his week in office? What is actually that he is doing?
Well, first of all, a Scrum Master is there to facilitate the activities by the team. The Scrum Master is there to shield the team against what I call inappropriate interference. The Scrum Master is there to remove impediments, right? So apart from being there to facilitate daily Scrum, being there to facilitate backlog refinement meetings together with the product owner, besides facilitating sprint planning and review and retrospectives, there is no fixed schedule for a Scrum Master. Scrum Master must do in the moment what's most important for the team.
How much would you say that a one-on-one approach towards a single developer would or needs to be used in a Scrum team, compared to the ceremonies where the Scrum Master is actually facing the whole development team at once? Is it per needed basis that he needs to address?
I believe it's per needed basis, yes. The Scrum Master is when a Scrum Master is working with a team, it's always something like working from the edge, that try not to become a part of the system himself, but have a clear view on what's happening, objective view on what's happening. And based on what the team needs, what individual people need, sometimes impediments for a team is that an individual needs a little guidance or a little coaching. Then that's something for the Scrum Master. But I don't see any general rule. The Scrum Master must do the best in the moment.
Okay, and if he does so, how does a Scrum Master know that he's doing a good job? What is the measure of being a good Scrum Master?
What is the measure? Well, that's a good question. Of course, there are some specific things, like the team is being able to get done sprint by sprint, that we don't have too many things that are not taking into the sprint because the backlog items are not clearly defined. That is the hard measures on this. The more soft measures are that the Scrum Master is asking for feedback from the team, and the product owner, the one he's coaching and working with, and learn from that. Early feedback is always important. If you're a Scrum team, early feedback from the product owner is important. If you're a Scrum Master, feedback from the team, what did I do that worked, what did I do that didn't work for you? That's the same for a coach. Getting some feedback whenever you coach someone is also important.
Would you say that if a Scrum Master is a person that has been a colleague of the devs, so has been a developer himself, and all of a sudden becomes a Scrum Master. Does that help? Does that hurt the Scrum team? What would you say?
I don't think there's any general rule for that. I have very good experience together with my colleagues to actually, when a team needs a new Scrum Master, that we help the team, we facilitate that the team actually selects a good Scrum Master from the team. We did it lately with a team that needed to have a new Scrum Master, and we started by brainstorming with the team about what are good characteristics of our new great Scrum Master. And after that, we made a voting, a hidden voting on several candidates from the team that was suggested. And the one with the most vote, first of all, he was a little anxious to be the Scrum Master, but after thinking of it, he actually accepted the role. So we have good experience by selecting people within the team. But whether either the Scrum Master comes from within the team or is someone who is more has the profession of being a Scrum Master, I think there are pros and cons on both sides depending on the given situation.
Okay.
The challenge can be if you came from being a member of the team that you still have strong opinions how to do this and that. And that can be, that's a balance for a Scrum Master, that even though I know about this stuff, that I try to put my own opinions to the grave, so to speak.
Okay, the last question. I've seen you mentioning the problem of inefficient decision making. So how does one overcome the problem of inefficient decision making?
How does one overcome the problem about the inefficient decision making? Well, inefficient decision making is usually something that comes out of that some members of the team has a bigger attitude and wants to be the spokesman for the team. Some efficient decision makings come out with that the manager or the product owner for the team wants the team to make a decision, but also tells the team what kind of decision he or she wants. Or some inefficient decision making comes out that there is not enough there's enough vision for the product. For example, if there's no vision for the product, the team cannot make decisions. I experienced that myself when I was a product owner, that I did not succeed in forming the vision for the product, and therefore the team was in limbo for several weeks on making.
It was not clear what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they could not make technology decisions. So clear vision is one thing. Building up a trustful and safe environment in the team, that it's okay to come with funny suggestions, maybe even weird suggestions, is also a good thing. And then find good approaches to find consensus. We don't have to agree, all of us, all the time, but we have to trust each other, we have to respect each other, that if the majority of the team says this.
Is the Scrum Master actually moderating that, making sure that everybody's voice gets heard? And
the Scrum Master is there to make sure that everyone gets get their voice out. Yes, and the Scrum Master can use different techniques from that. The Roman vote is one technique, the fist of five is another. Planning poker is actually also a technique about that.
Okay, they can maybe experiment with what brings most value to them.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, Ben, for your time.
You're welcome. Teams or high performance teams are the Formula One of organization.
Okay.
It's the Formula One of how you organize, because they are running fast, but they also require a lot of maintenance. So looking at teams, well, the difference between teams and just a couple of people working together is that in teams there are synergy, meaning that the whole is bigger than the sum of the individual parts. And that is actually what happens in a Formula One team when they are trying to when they're servicing Formula One cars, get them into the pit stop, and in 30 seconds they can change the tires and change the driver and fuel it up and so on. So that's the resemblance of that.
Okay, so what would you say are the main qualities of a good Scrum Master?
The main qualities of a good Scrum Master, in my perspective, is first of all that the person understands people. A good Scrum Master is not necessarily one who knows about...
Okay, so you know both worlds, the traditional words, you have certifications in both worlds.
Yes, I am a certified project manager. It's called Project Management Professional. I have that certification as well.
Okay, so I want to talk about how to be a good Scrum Master. And I've seen you were comparing the Scrum team with a Formula One race team. So what are the analogies?
Yes, we talk from my education as a professional coach. I'm certified as a professional coach as well, a systemic coach. We talk about that Formula One Scrum, and since 2006 I've been working with Scrum with in different roles. First Scrum Master, then Product Owner. Besides that, I am a certified Scrum Coach. I became a certified Scrum Coach in 2008, and since 2012 I have also been a certified Scrum Trainer. So I work for Agile 42 as an Agile coach based in Denmark, but working in most of Europe and Middle East as a coach and trainer.
Hello, my name is Marko Keba, and I'm joined today by Bent Myllerup, if I got your name right.
Absolutely.
And maybe to start it off, just one or two sentences on your professional background.
Yes, my professional background is that I've been working with IT development since '92 when I graduated as an electronic engineer. I've been working 10 years as a developer up through the '90s, and I've been working 5 years as a traditional project manager.